So I had a different topic planned for today, but there has been some recent news that I feel I need to talk about. I'm sure some of you may have already seen or heard about what I'm referencing, and that's the controversy surrounding the candidate for Attorney General of Virginia, Jay Jones. This isn't This incident began with the discovery of a string of text messages from 2022 that Jay Jones sent to Kerry Coyner, a Republican state delegate at the time, where he calls for violence against the then Virginia House Speaker Todd Gilbert and his family. I'll put those on screen for you if you haven't seen them yet. Now, I don't necessarily want to call attention specifically to the text messages. I'm more concerned about the reaction to this incident. I don't really want this channel to be violence centered. Today, I was actually going to talk about my thoughts on the government shutdown, but how this incident is being handled is honestly appalling. There are various Democratic organizations that are endorsing Jay Jones despite this controversy. One organization that's getting a lot of play is the Virginia Beach Democrats. They put out a statement where they sort of brush these heinous text messages under the rug as a past mistake, quote unquote. I also saw another organization, Henrico County Democrats, put out a similar statement, which, in my opinion, is more disturbing. So I want to address it. Henrico County Democrats attempt to defend their support for Jones by pointing out how current Attorney General of Virginia, Jason Miyares, not sure if I'm saying that right, but how he is pushing a MAGA agenda. Their position perfectly illustrates the cultural issue we have. How comfortable the left wing is with levying violence and death against their political opponents. Regardless of how you feel about Jason's position on political topics, the Henrico County Democrats are drawing a direct comparison between a difference of opinion on policy and violently eradicating that opposition, using the difference of opinion as justification for the violence. I mentioned in my last video that Charlie's assassination was disturbing because it was a commentary on free speech. How holding an opinion that differs from your neighbor could put you directly at risk of physical harm. And this is solidifying those sentiments. Many people are speaking about how this violent ideology has been festering on the left for years now. And the fact that these text messages are from 2022 proves the point. And furthermore, the support for this ideology today shows that these sentiments and ideologies haven't allayed. Our country is at an impasse. Violence is wrong, and unless the idealistic rot is called out and addressed, then I'm not really sure that there's a way to fix it. Uh, I still firmly believe that vilifying people on the opposite side of the aisle purely for being on the opposite side is the wrong approach. However, I don't see or haven't seen anyone on the left of the aisle calling for accountability. And not only are they not calling for accountability, they're doubling down. I mean, it's hard to see, but they support this individual. They want to elevate him to the highest law enforcement position in the state. And if they succeed at that, and Jay Jones is installed as Attorney General, it will create an environment where the political opponents of the left may face legislative backlash for their political affiliation and opinions. When I said in my last video that there's a not so small group of people that believe in and support this ideology, it truly wasn't an exaggeration. And with everything coming out about Jay Jones, it kind of seems like I underestimated the scale. I thought it was in the millions, but it seems that it's actually more like in the tens of millions, which is incredibly unnerving. I want to extend a hand to my fellow Americans on the left, but we need some kind of common ground. I think the denouncing of violence and the condemnation of those that verbalize their support of violence is reasonable common ground. So I'm going to call on my fellow Americans to speak up and denounce Jay Jones. If you disagree, let's talk.